Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashlyn and today I'm doing the second installment of my Walt Disney World planning series. Talk about Disney dining. Now, Disney food is probably some of the best food in my opinion because it's just filled with that extra little bit of magic. And of course, Walt Disney World and Disneyland pride themselves on having a really unique dining experience that you can get nowhere else in the world. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about first what kind of restaurants are at Walt Disney World, and then a little bit of how to make your dining reservation so you can have the best trip possible. The three types of restaurants at Walt Disney World are quick service, table service, and dining events and dining shows or dinner shows. Now let's start with quick service. So quick service is not necessarily a sit-down meal. A quick service restaurant is something kind of like a fast food restaurant where you go up to the counter, they have a menu kind of like on the ceiling or on the walls, you pick an item that you want and you sit and you wait for your number to be called or your order to be called, and then you go retrieve your food. So it's not so much of a dining experience of like I'm sitting down, I have a waiter, I'm getting waited on. This is more like quick, easy out. It's cheaper than any other restaurants at the parks, and they usually sell more snack-based foods like pretzels or little sandwiches or things that you can mostly like grab on the go. Especially in Walt Disney World, there's a restaurant, I can't remember, I think it's Sleepy Hollow Cafe or something, and they have little waffles with Nutella and fresh fruit, and that's something that you can just kind of pick up and take around the parks, but that is technically considered a quick service restaurant. Table service is exactly the opposite. Table service is a regular restaurant that we've all been to in our hometowns where you go in, you have a waiter, they give you a menu, you sit down, you order your food, you pay your bill at the table, and it's just a more immersive experience, and it takes a little longer, which means it's probably more expensive. So table service restaurants at Walt Disney World can have some amazing theming, and we'll talk about some of those when it comes to my reservations because I've booked a couple awesome places to go eat. But yeah, table service is definitely one that you want to think about if you're like wanting to take a little more of a load off during the day and you're wanting to sit down for longer periods of time, just have a little more of an enjoyable meal. Then finally, we have dining events and dinner shows. Now these are definitely expensive because they're always a fixed price per person. So these are always accompanied with either like the fireworks or a nighttime show like Fantasmic or the Star Wars fireworks, right? So there's always things like dining packages, which are dining events in itself, and that usually means you get to pick a restaurant, a table service restaurant to go to for lunch or dinner, and then you get a fast pass or a priority seating ticket for the show that night. And these are in Hollywood Studios, they're in Magic Kingdom, they're soon to be in Animal Kingdom, I think, for Rivers of Light when that opens. But that's another way to have a dining experience where you get to actually pay for a dinner and a show. So now that we've talked about the three different types of restaurants you can go to, let's talk about how to book them so you can actually get into these restaurants. So an important thing to know about dining reservations is they open very early depending on where you live. So Florida time or Eastern Standard Time, reservations are open online at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can call on the phone at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So whatever is your preference, whether you like just getting on the computer, doing things quicker, or you can get on the phone, which may take longer. I did not book my reservations by phone because I was just wanting to get on the computer, try to book as much as I could, and I did have to call to cancel a couple things, but for the most part I used my computer to book them. What this means for my fellow West Coasters is we gotta get up early, and I mean early. I had to get up at 2:45 a.m. to book my reservations, and you probably think I'm a mad woman or an insane woman for doing that, but I had a lot of big ticket priority restaurants I wanted to get reservations at, so I had to make sure I got up right at the crack of dawn, right when it opened, because this reservation system crashed when I was actually booking them. And I'll go into a little more of a story time later about my experience with dining, but you will have to get it very early if you're on the West Coast. You've gotten up, you're at your computer, you're on the phone, you're ready to call. This is more for on the computer because this is what my experience was, but a really important tip is to have your card on file. So usually this means that you would have to practice making your reservations by going in, writing down a card or inputting a card info and then saving it to your profile, so any other reservation you make, it's already in there. You just start typing your first couple digits of your credit card, you click the autofill, and it's all in there. So it makes things super, super easy, and eventually it even just pops up as, this is your card, okay, cool, and then you can just press it and reserve your restaurant. So it was a very, very speedy process for me once I got that card on file. The only thing I would recommend when doing a previous or a pre-practice for this is do not try this on dining events, because dining events will charge your card. I was doing a fireworks show and they charged me $236 because I have 3 people, or if something like that. It was around $230 for this fireworks viewing, and that was going to be charged to my card. And so I accidentally made a little boo-boo with it, and I would have had to pay a second amount because I booked 2 of the same reservations. So I had to cancel one of them, and then I had to call, and luckily they were super understanding and I got it refunded for me. But that was just a thing where I never try to book a dining reservation as practice for an event, because they will charge your card and it's just going to be messy. So try like a table service or a quick service, and it'll be much easier to practice then. The one thing I cannot stress enough is booking priority, not chronologically, because what happens is when you get your dining reservations 180 days in advance, then the window opens up for your entire trip. It's not just that you can make reservations for one day, it's you can make them for the next 10 days of your trip. So if you're going for more than 10, I think it just gives you those 10 days. But I'm going for a week, so my whole trip was open, which means I probably got access to 2 or 3 days that no one had access to yet. So the good thing about that is all of those restaurants have no reservations yet. So you can book for the Friday, for the Saturday of the next week of your trip, and there's gonna be your time, because I wanted Cinderella's Royal Table so bad, and I made sure I booked it on a Thursday because that was a bigger ticket item for me. So once I found that, I went online, I went straight to Thursday, I got the reservation at the time I wanted because I booked later into my trip. And that's a small other thing to consider, is what parks are you going to what day, so you can kind of plan what really nice restaurants are in those parks that I may want to save for later in my trip, so I can save myself the hassle of maybe not getting that reservation. And of course, you always want to check back for missed reservations. I wanted Be Our Guest reservations, and there was no times available. And of course, if you know Be Our Guest restaurant, it gets filled up very, very quickly. So I was a little bit discouraged because I thought I was the first one online that day, and it got filled up somehow. And so I was determined, though. I stayed on my computer for about an hour, and I was refreshing the page over and over, just hoping somebody would either mess up or cancel. Luckily, I got the time I wanted, and I just booked it. I saw it and I said, oh my god, and so I clicked it and I booked it, and I was really happy about it. But you have to be patient and you have to be willing to check back multiple times. If it wasn't there that day, I would have gone back later in the week and checked it and hopefully gotten the same time. Now I'm going to share with you a little bit of what my dining plans are for the trip. I'm going to do a binder overview later where all this is going to be detailed for my whole day, but for today I just thought I would give you a little layout of what I booked for my trip. So the first day that we're going to be there, it's going to be a Sunday in the parks, and so we're going to go to Epcot, which I'm so excited for, and we got Beer Garden reservations for dinner. And Beer Garden is this really cool German buffet, and it's very cool looking inside. It's like this old like German pub, and you have like live music and dancers, and it's all like this big family table, so they probably seat you with people that you don't necessarily know, but it creates this really cool like family communal aspect, which I'm actually really excited for. And the next day, we're going to be at Animal Kingdom, and I can't wait because we booked reservations for Sanaa for dinner, and I hear so many good things about this place. Their bread service is supposed to be amazing. If you see all the cool Instagram pictures like this, yeah, this looks bomb. This looks so good. But this is the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I am just really excited to see that whole resort and see the animals, and that I just think that's a really cool experience and a really cool way to present a restaurant. And I love some good like African Indian food. I think those flavors are delicious, so I'm really excited to try it. So the next day we're going to be at Hollywood Studios, and we have reservations for lunch at 50's Primetime Cafe. So I'm going to get yelled at for keeping my elbows on the table because that just sounds like a lot of fun. But that sounds like a really cool experience, and I watched so many videos on it, and the staff just looks amazing there, and it looks like a great, fun, very unique dining experience to have. And we're doing the Phantasmic dining event. This is one of those that I was talking about, the dining packages. We got a dining package for the Hollywood Brown Derby at 4:30, which is a little awkward because dinner usually for me is like 5:30 to 6:30, but that's okay, we can just eat a little earlier. But then we get to go watch Phantasmic at night, which I miss so much. I remember at Disneyland when I was a kid, I was like 6 or 7, and Phantasmic was still playing, and so I am so excited to go see that again, but we're gonna go to the Brown Derby beforehand. Then the next day is my birthday, so we're going to be at Magic Kingdom. We have a ton of reservations for this day. So in the morning we're going to do the Crystal Palace breakfast with Winnie the Pooh and his friends. And I love Winnie the Pooh, so I'm really excited to go eat there, and it looks beautiful. And this was when I got Fair Guest reservations. I got Fair Guest reservations for lunch at like 1 o'clock. And oh my god, that was such a hard reservation to get, but I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't believe I'm going. I'm like tearing up just thinking about it. And then for dinner, we're going to go to the California Grill at our hotel, which is the Contemporary. So I've heard a lot of great things about the Contemporary. You can see the fireworks from it at the time that we're going, so it should be a really cool experience. So the next day, we don't quite know what we're doing during the day, but at night we know we have Cinderella's Royal Table reservations for dinner, and I really can't wait to do this. I'm so excited that I get to have a lot of character experiences in my dining, because that just means that I get less time in lines trying to wait for them. So I'm really, really looking forward to that meal. I've heard some mixed reviews about the food, but I'm mostly going to dine inside the castle, and this was something my mom really wanted to do too. So I'm of course going to let her have this really magical experience, and our whole family had this really magical experience because I hear it's really, really awesome. And then our last day in the parks, we're going to actually start at Chef Mickey's, which is at our hotel at the Contemporary Resort for lunch, or for breakfast. And then for lunch, I have this tentatively, I may cancel it, but we have Kona reservations at the Poly, which I have heard nothing but good things about. So I wanted to just fit it in there somewhere, and Friday was the only day I could really think about doing that. So hopefully we'll go to Kona for lunch. And then for dinner, we're going to be going to the Skipper's Canteen in Magic Kingdom, which is kind of like, I want to say it's like one of those places that has thousands of stuff on the menu, so hopefully it's good. I've heard a couple mixed things about it, but it looks like a really cool restaurant. And then to finalize our whole trip and end our trip on a high note, we're going to be doing the Wishes dessert party on the Tomorrowland Terrace, and I've heard really awesome things about it, and you have a great view of the castle, a great view of the fireworks, and I just feel like it's a really nice way to end our whole Disney vacation. So those are my dining reservations for my trip. Like I said, I'll do a binder overview later, but that's kind of the layout of what I'm going to be eating. Now all that is just dining reservations. Of course I'm going to be eating, breakfast and lunches throughout the trip, some snacks, and I'll vlog all of those and make sure that I tell you which ones are the must-haves after I get back from my trip. So I'm so excited about that, but thank you so much for watching. This is the second installment of my Walt Disney World series, so next time we'll probably talk about my binder and kind of how to start planning those things. It may be a little bit more time before my next trip, or my next video, because this was just something I had just done, and so I'm kind of waiting on my fast passes and my Magic Band. But I did actually get a Mickey monthly subscription, so that video should be up next, hopefully. So I'm crossing my fingers, and my mom will actually be in that video, so you guys get to meet her. I'm so excited for you to meet her. But yeah, so that's a little bit of what you can expect from me in the next coming weeks. And like I said, I hope you love this video. Please subscribe to all my social media links down below. I am so close to 400 subscribers. You guys are awesome. I think I'm like 19 away now. You guys on Twitter have been amazing, like amazing. I love you guys so much, and I've actually been lucky enough to be featured on a couple of my followers' websites and the people that I follow's websites, and I'm just so grateful for you guys. You guys are awesome. I love you, and I'm so excited to keep making content for you guys, and there's a couple other projects I'm working on that I'm super excited to announce to you guys later. But yeah, so as for right now, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you online, and I will see you on Monday. Bye guys.